Yo, what's up everybody? It's Colby Cheese, and I'm bringing you guys a little bit of a pro champion commentary, but this time in a little bit of a different style. And I'm actually really excited about this game because it's very meta breaking in a way. I'm following around a person that's kind of changed my playstyle a little bit just from hearing about some of the stuff that he does, which he plays a lot of AD mid, and we're going to be following around Arcade Angeloid, which used to be known as Angeloid, and he used to play a lot of mid Pantheon, and he's done some other AD mid champions, and he's not one of the only people that I've gotten inspiration from, but this is a particular game where he's doing something completely different than what I've ever seen, and he's actually doing Kha'Zix bottom, and they have no ranged carry on this team. Instead, they have two assassins. They have Angeloid on the bottom, and then they have a Zed player in the top area, while they have their AP in the mid as standard. So this is going to be very interesting, and the style that I'm actually going to use for this particular video, and I've been trying to think of ways to make my videos shorter and just easier to take the useful information out of and learn from, rather than doing 20-30 minute commentaries. I want to just break it down to the most useful information for you guys, so that you can myself included, I get kind of bored of certain videos if they're really long, and I just want to get the most out of my time possible, very efficient. So I'm going to try and do that for you guys. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. Perhaps you'll let me know in the comments. I will read them, by the way. And so already we're seeing a level 1 gank here, and this is going to help out quite a bit. What happened was he was kind of soloing in the lane for a little bit, and then the Maokai, who I don't know how is already level 3, came down with the level 1 Taric and got a first blood. Unfortunately, it was for Taric, but still, nonetheless, it isn't terrible, and that's going to help him out just a little bit. He's going to be able to sit here in the lane and farm just a bit, and Ezreal is going to be without a lane support for now, as Cho'Gath is backing off. So the different style that I'm going to employ here is I'm actually just going to focus on the main fights whenever I get done talking about whatever happens. So in this particular case, they're actually going to take advantage of the fact that Ezreal is now all by himself, and they force out the flash. So that's a very critical part right there. Not only is Ezreal forced out of the lane so that he cannot farm, but his flash is now down, and this allows Arcade Angeloid to sit here and get some more free farm in himself. Now, Ezreal has decided to actually stay in the lane, and the reason for that is because, well, he knows Arcade Angeloid is going to go back now since he's pushed and shoved the lane. Arcade Angeloid is going to get a chance to go back and buy a few items himself. So while he does that, I'm going to go ahead and take the time to talk about the runes and masteries that he decided to go for, as those are very important in this particular setup. What he decided to do on his runes was he actually picked up 19 armor, and this makes it so that Ezreal is not going to be able to do as much damage to him. Basically, the most amount of armor that you can really set up, because he got armor from yellow and on his blue runes, and then he got the maximum amount of armor pen that he could. He's got all red armor pen and then one quintessence of armor pen, so that gives him 18.3 armor pen, and then he's got the rest of his quints, the other two quints, in mana regen, and then he's got his masteries as 2109, and that allows him to have even more mana regen from the support tree, and then of course the standard AD. So in this particular case, they engage with a stun onto the Ezreal, and it looks like the Lulu tried to stick around just a little bit longer, and she was trying to just do like a normal thing that a normal support would do. People aren't used to the amount of damage that an assassin such as Kha'Zix can put out, and even though she was not the one that got caught in the stun, she stayed around a little bit to try and slow them and just do a few things, but it caused her to pretty much get insta-bursted down because he's so strong as a champion that can just walk up and destroy people who are isolated. You notice that the creeps weren't there whenever they fought, and that allowed him to pick up the kill onto her without too much trouble. So let me go ahead and jump on to the next fight here, and I've actually got these. I watched this a little bit earlier, and so I've got the times actually listed out of when stuff is going to happen, so this video will be able to go much faster. So I'm going to jump forward here, and we're about to see another fight here where they are going to catch this Lulu, and I'm just going to make it from the perspective of red team. You notice he has a ward here in this bush, and he's got the ability to see where she's at. And Angeloid is just sitting here farming while Taric decides to zone things out. And Taric is a very important part of this this combination here. You need somebody who can actually lock them down long enough for Angeloid to get in there in range and knock them out. So all it took was one stun, and Angeloid was able to jump in there and take her down with an ignite. And it looked like Ezreal might be able to pick up another kill onto this, but Angeloid does so much damage to isolated targets once again. He was all by himself there, and Taric was sitting there doing some auto attacks as well, that he was able to destroy the Ezreal, who is now really far behind, only 21 CS to Kha'Zix 36, and rising now with 3 kills, and he should have enough to build his Brutalizer at this point. And one thing that I noticed Angeloid do in almost all of his games, well, with most of his champions anyways, is he'll build a Brutalizer into a Last Whisper, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing this game, so that he can have the maximum amount of armor pen possible, and pretty much his goal is to force them into almost taking true damage from his abilities. And it's so strong in these cases. So let's go ahead and jump to the next thing that happens here, and you'll see that Taric has put a pink in the bush here as to reduce any kind of vision that they're able to get. Ezreal comes back, not noticing that they're actually there. All it takes is one stun, and he jumps on Ezreal and destroys him instantly. Now that he's got his Brutalizer and another longsword, he's strong enough to actually take that out. And he grabs a double kill in that situation, as Lulu is so behind as well that she's so weak. She has no health at this point, and it takes really no effort on his part to clean that up. And it's just getting very easy. So once you snowball, this particular champion being played in the bot lane is going to be very snowball reliant, I feel. So I think that if he had not gotten ahead so much early on, then it would have caused him to probably be in a fairly bad situation. But the other thing to keep in mind is that since he is an assassin and they don't have a ranged carry, if he doesn't snowball, and let's say they even just stay even on the bottom lane, they get similar farm, after around 30 minutes, he's going to start falling off, where it starts to become imperative to have some kind of ranged poke. But the cool thing about Kha'Zix is that if you play him correctly, he actually does have decent amount of poke. Once you level up his W, you can start spamming that W out and really poke down the entire team at once in situations. And I've done this where once you get to this area right here and you start to see these fights happen at Baron where people are kind of pushing each other back and forth. Let's say their whole team's kind of in this area right over here. You shoot out your little rockets and it comes in this entire area, and it'll hit the entire team, blowing them up and reducing their health by a very large amount. Especially if you at least stay even and possibly even get a little bit ahead, you're really going to be chunking people down quite a bit. And so this Brutalizer into Last Whisper build is very important in that particular setup. And we're going to see another team fight here happening very soon. And what they did was they actually pushed Ezreal and Lulu back past the turret. Not too difficult because the Maokai actually came back in here, and he was going to dive them if they didn't run away. He's trying to get in here himself and do some work, but looks like the Cho'Gath comes in here as well. He actually got beat down a little bit by Angeloid, and not low enough to kill him there. But now with the mid lane coming down, this is going to be a 4v whatever situation, and looks like Angeloid actually came around from behind, and this is an important thing. Angeloid was waiting for the Cho'Gath to get all by himself, and finally he found the opportunity. He was low enough, he jumps in there, picks up the kill. That's going to refresh his leap, so he's able to pick up a kill onto the Lulu, and now he's trying to wait for the mid lane to get a little bit lower, but Kinnan wasn't low enough for him to actually pick up the kill. He does flash in. Orianna actually grabs the kill, and that's fine. Angeloid's actually far enough ahead that he doesn't necessarily need more kills. It's great that he's giving those to Orianna, even though he wasn't really trying to. Cho'Gath shuts down Orianna finally. Looks like the Taric is going to fall as well. Angeloid being smart here, he notices that he can look for an opportunity to pick up a kill here, and if he does pick up a kill, he's actually going to be able to leap back out. And that was actually very risky because Cho'Gath could have, right there, silenced him as he leaped in and caused him to be able to not leap out, essentially. But what he did was he shot his rockets first, and then he leaps in, grabs the kill, and leaps right back out instantly. So that was great. It was perfect. He did exactly the right thing there. He was able to pick up a kill and jump out of there, no problem. You'll notice he's leveled up his W second, and that's very smart. The E is so you can start snowballing quickly and get in and out of fights after kills, and then that W so you can start poking the team down in team fights, which around level 13 is when you start to see team fights happening, especially now. It's 27 minutes, obviously. But so that's the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Definitely something unordinary, both for me and for the meta game. I definitely have to caution anyone who's going to try this. make sure you have the right runes if you're going to be trying something like this. Again, remember that he did have tons of armor runes and lots of armor pin, and that is a very important thing to consider on bottom lane. Also, the fact that he had a Taric. The Taric was a great synergy with this particular pick because he lowers their armor even further, and he sets up that stun for the harass and stuff like that. So it's possible this could work with a Leona as well, or maybe some, I don't know, you'd have to kind of consider different champions working out, but I think Taric is probably the best synergy for this bot lane duo if you're going to try this out. All right, guys, thank you for watching this new style of pro champion commentary. If you like this more, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you have any other suggestions of types of videos you'd like to see, or maybe even roles that you would like me to show. I've been doing a lot of mid and top and even jungle games, but I haven't done much bottom lane, so I know this is a little out of the ordinary for bottom lane games, but if you have any requested champions that you would like to see, let me know, and I'll try and pick those up for you guys, because I'm just kind of picking stuff up as I go and finding what looks interesting to me, but I don't know what you guys want to see unless you let me know. So all right, that's it for now. And the only other thing I want to say is, if you haven't already, if you're even interested at all in other games other than League of Legends, I've went ahead and moved my Let's Play channel to Colby Cheese Gaming, youtube.com/Colby Cheese Gaming. So be sure to support me and go subscribe to that. I think I've got like 1 subscriber right now because I literally just created it right before this. I'm going ahead and I'm uploading a new series that I've been working on, a new indie game called Towns. As of the time of recording this anyways. So I'll have that starting to upload. And that's pretty much it for the news of Colby Cheese these days. So I'll see you guys around for the next video. Thanks for watching and being a loyal fan. Peace out, guys.